So, the Mac, he is back. The Mac is officially back. Okay, so what does that mean for the UFC? That means we have a sweepstakes, or we had, that is now passed, and the winner is not one of the guys you see on the screen right now. It's not Carlos Prates. It's not Nate Diaz. It's not Michael Chandler. It is Max. I said Max Diaz. It's Max Holloway. Max blessed Holloway won the sweepstakes. He is getting the opportunity of a lifetime to fight McGregor for that cream de la cream. He is getting gifted $1 billion. No, but this is a good deal for him. This is a good gig, and I'm glad that it's happening because, believe it or not, there is something about this matchup that makes me think, after everything that's happened, and even regardless of all that, McGregor, if anyone's going to do it, McGregor would be the guy to pull off a dramatic upset. And I get it, these two fought before. But at the time, Max Holloway was a tadpole, and McGregor was a froglet. So it's not a fair comparison. These two guys were at different points in their career, but still they fought. But guess where they're fighting? They're fighting at welterweight. And guess who has experience at welterweight? Conor McGregor. And he lost the first time around. He lost. But then he won again. He won again. And how did he do that? How did he do that? Different approach. In the first fight, it was very Ilia Topuria-esque. Going off of current history, he believed that he was going to get him out there quick and easy. But Nate Diaz, a very durable fighter, put up a great test for McGregor, a challenge that he had never seen before. Very different every time in his career since, except for early in his career where he had a few submission losses here and there. But at this point in his prime in the UFC, there was nobody you could put in front of him who could beat him. So we thought, but then he moved up to welterweight for this shebang bang of a fight. And he lost the first one, but he won the second one because his approach was different. His mentality was very different. And if he's able to beat a proper welterweight, someone who's been at that weight division for a good while now he's outside, he's not in the UFC anymore, but he fought a welterweight, a real welterweight. Someone who put up a tough fight and even knocked and wobbled Leon Edwards at one point. This is a great win. This is making me think maybe there's magic in the air on the night of. Another important fact to bring up is about Max Holloway himself. 69 inches versus 71.5 inches. Guess who has that reach? Volk has a 71.5 inch reach, and Max Holloway has the 69 inch reach. Crazy because Max Holloway is pretty tall. He's significantly taller than Volk, that is. But that height, all it really does is it's able to it gives him the ability to lean over, and that's how he can gain as much reach or as much distance advantage and be able to cut that off and pose a problem to a lot of guys. But his arms are short, and the way he fights, especially when a guy is gonna target his legs, heavy on the legs, he's very square. He's very kitty cat paw the way he strikes. Both his hands are up, kind of like Alex Pereira, except more square. But he does move a lot. He's very fluid and very good on his back foot, which he was not good at when he first fought Conor McGregor. When he first fought Conor McGregor, orthodox versus southpaw, every time he was on the back foot, it was a problem from Holloway. Every time. And naturally, when a southpaw is fighting an orthodox, they have less familiarity with southpaw, whereas southpaw, all they do is fight orthodox guys. So he had an easy time finding his way or grabbing a hold of Max's lead arm and navigating whether it be inside or outside and landing an uppercut to set up a 2-punch combination, or outside, different uppercut, different arm, opposite arm, uppercut, setting up that 2 combination, which he likes to do. That is a tendency of McGregor. Also one of the reasons why he lost the Nate Diaz fight in the first place, because he was packing a punch behind those 2 combinations. But it gave Nate Diaz something to like, add a sort of like a fill on, or like a it was just like an additional note. Like as soon as he hit those two, you knew those two were coming. He was able to come back with his own pizzazz, you could say. But enough about that. More about this Max fight. Even though that is kind of related because it's at welterweight and this will be at welterweight. Understand though, McGregor, this is a tough test for him because no guy has ever come back 5 years hiatus after a tibia and fibula injury. Nobody's ever done that. But if anybody can do it, it'd have to be McGregor. Could the Mac really get it done? Could he come back and fool? Could the Mac do that? Could the Mac truly return? I think so. And this is another reason why he could do that, because he can wrestle. He can wrestle good enough against someone who's not Dagestani, someone who doesn't live and breathe wrestling. And Max Holloway doesn't live and breathe wrestling. He can easily manage side control and in full mount. Honestly, that would be a best case scenario to buy yourself some time on top. Early in the rounds, strike at the legs, heavy. Instead of going for the 1-2, instead of waiting, well, you could get good looks and wait for him. You know, you're fighting that lead battle, that lead foot, lead hand battle. You could wait for him to do something and then catch him a little bit. But also, you definitely want to target those legs. You want to switch stances momentarily, and then you want to kick the leg. And when you want the leg to rebound off and fall back into position, then step back, switch stances again, just to get yourself enough distance, because Max Holloway is great with distance, great with finding his opponent. The only one who's really been a true test to him is Volkanovski because of speed and that arm reach. But although McGregor does have a better arm reach, right over here, yeah, right over here, lead battle, 73 inches versus that 60, or no, that 69 inch. Even though McGregor has the longer reach, a significantly longer reach, he's going to be much slower. We all know this. You know, you take time away from your career, and those leg injuries, really, they slow you down and change your game plan altogether. You have to fight differently. And McGregor, he does gas out. That's one of the reasons, because he did too much early on in that Diaz fight. He tends to blow his tank because he knows he has power, but sometimes he leans too much on the power instead of his overall skill set. And this is the fight I was talking about. What does Oliveira do instantly in that fight? He targets the legs, leg kick after leg kick, and then he pressures him, gets him to the fence, and he goes for that upper body lock. He goes under, over. He wants to trip him. He wants to get him down on the ground, but he does it upright because he's that strong. And McGregor will definitely have that mass advantage. He will be stronger. He put on size. He probably used roids. Believe it or not, McGregor used roids, right? But that doesn't matter now. He was at peak physique for McGregor with the addition of roids, but now he's going to have to cut down a little bit. He's going to be more lean and mean, ready to fight, ready to go, ready to rumble. And he's still going to have that size advantage because Max Holloway is getting thrown around by a lightweight, a big lightweight. Some would say he should move up to welterweight. About Oliveira, he should move up to welterweight, but he's a big lightweight. And McGregor is an even bigger lightweight. He's a welterweight now. That's why he wants that fight at welterweight. It gives him something on Max Holloway because he's comfortable at that weight. He's probably put in some reps, and Max Holloway hasn't put up any reps at welterweight. He's gonna gas out himself. It's gonna be. I know Max likes the war of attrition, but McGregor, he might have the advantage in this case. He might actually be able to pull this off if he leg kicks early, doesn't overreact, or doesn't settle on the 1-2 and try to take his head clean off. And instead, maybe he takes a few nibbles at his face because he does have that power. And I wouldn't be surprised if there's more power for him at welterweight. But I want him to grapple. I want him to make it a boring fight. I want him to exhaust Max Holloway. He will exhaust easily because if he's getting grappled, if his legs are being kicked, his movement is being restricted, and he's forced on the ground, he has to find his way up, and he can't necessarily do that. He struggles because he hasn't seen this before, and except for an Oliveira, but now it's at a different size. He will exhaust, and those punches, those opportunities later on, will be there for McGregor to make it a dirty fight and fight inside or fight outside and leg kick, continue to leg kick, and a sloppy Max Holloway will come in, try to set things up, but he's orthodox, and McGregor is southpaw, and he catches him. He fights that lead hand battle, that lead leg battle, and he catches him. He slips inside or slips outside, and he does a hard left and knocks Max Holloway to the ground. Or it's a lay and pray, boring fight, something you wouldn't see. You got to add the Menegov or Megov or whatever it is to the end of McGregor's name. Conor McGregor Menegov. Like and subscribe. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this. I am going to put out more content for you in the future. So, thank you and goodbye.